Welcome, and thank you for tuning in to the American Investor Show. Please click subscribe if this is your first time listening. From trader and CEO interviews to breaking news about companies you won't hear anywhere else, nobody does a better job at keeping you in the know when it comes to penny stocks. The term penny stock generally refers to a security issued by a very small company that trades at less than $5 per share. Penny stocks are extremely risky, yet they offer rates of return on investment not seen anywhere else. The host, guest, and callers are not registered financial advisors licensed by any government entity, and therefore, the following should be considered entertainment. The host, guest, and callers disclaim all liability in the event any information, commentary, analysis, opinions, advice, and/or recommendations prove to be inaccurate, incomplete, or unreliable, or result in any investment losses. Before investing in penny stocks, you should consult a professional to determine what strategy may be best for your individual needs. Now, without further ado, your host, Lascelles Anungu.
Yes, what's going on, everyone? Thank you for joining me. This is the American Investors Show, Penny Stock Live, episode 286. I want to thank you all for joining me. Shout out to everybody in the chat room right now. Shout out to everyone in the chat room right now. Chris McKinney, first in the building. Denzel Essex, Gucci. Redneck Trader, Bill Betts, what's going on? Terry Cherry. Shirley Lewis Stockafella, thank you. Fuck you. Hey, fuck you. Are you from Vietnam or something? JT, the Bullhead Trader. Gerardo. Corey Kwan. Norman Powell. John Rambo, what's going on? Patrice Jameson, hello, ma'am. Me Marine, Jeff Thayer. Hey, Jeff, how you feeling on GE, man? We're going to talk GE tonight, too. M1 Gunner, what's going on? Joe Kraft, Ken, Mark, SC Trucker. SC, it's been a minute. Yeah, where you been at, bro? Trevor Riley, hello. All right, let's get to it, guys. You already know what it is. Great day overall. A lot of volatility today. Those of you guys who are taking the ride with me at Black Box Stocks, you already know what has been going on. We've just been killing it, right? You get the alert 20 minutes in, and it is what it is, man. I mean, we really tore it up today. BXC, 5-minute chart. All right, that's basically what it was today. Again, get the alert. All right. 30 minutes, don't touch. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. Cracking the set high from the morning, and you ride and glide, man. So, nice move today on BXC. A couple $100 on that because I was actually long for the day. Long in terms of going on a put option. Caterpillar. I actually was really looking for an option trade today, and there was quite a bit of volatility in Caterpillar, and that's where I was today. Caterpillar, as well as this trade alert by Black Box Stocks, BXC. What's going on, Corey Kwan? Thank you, Joe Scott. A Ranger, appreciate you, man. All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, you know what the number is, 305-600-2896. Want to get the show calls? Give me a call right now. Let me make sure I'm in on Skype. Yes, I am. Ready to take your calls. Otherwise, we'll go into my stocks. And I talked briefly last week about the semiconductors. And they're on a tear, folks. They're on a tear. And we spoke about how, these stocks aren't cheap, right? So you can go in with some options. But, boy, they killed it today, man. Whether you want to talk about NVDA, great day. Still looking very nicely even on the daily chart, right? 60 on the RSI here on the daily chart. We're playing the breakout here, that 250 breakout. We're just underneath that. High of the day was 253. I think we're going to get above that this week. I think you get your 250s this week. All right? As we starting to see that bullish energy coming back. All right, it's been there. I mean, it's been there. It's been there all year for the most part. Coming back into the chart. So we're going to be returning back to those high 70s, high 60s in NVIDIA. And again, setting up that high RSI line in NVIDIA. Let me see if I can send a trend line within the RSI. And we're going to get that break here. We're going to get that break here very shortly. I know my line's crooked. You guys are seeing that further out view where I'm much closer to the monitor. So it might look a bit crooked on your end. But we're about to get that multi-month breakout on the RSI here. All right, we're going to get that multi-month breakout to the RSI, and we're going to start enjoying some of these beautiful runs here on NVIDIA. And by the way, you gotten this early if you played the hourly charts. All right, you gotten this a lot earlier if you played the hourly charts. You got back here on March the 5th. March the 5th at 3:30, crossed above the 50 line. Shout out to all the people who took advantage of watching those DVDs I put out. All right, you gotten that a lot earlier than most people. All right, and you've been enjoying these multiple day gains in NVIDIA across the board. Beautiful, beautiful stock right now. All right, just buy these great companies. These great companies. Again, today, Caterpillar, interesting profit taking right now. Real no news to justify the sell-off. But again, going back to those videos, it was a very easy call here. EMA set up what you had here on the 5-minute chart. 50 RSI break, MACD break. All right, below the positive. All right, interesting, beautiful, beautiful call right here for 10 contracts. It was a 10 contract move. I think there were 330 each. Made about $900 or so. I posted it up on Twitter. And it was just a nice, easy call right there, man. Again, following through RSI break, MACD break, breaking below, the moving average, and just following it down. And once it breaks the moving average, I sell. And that's kind of what it is. All right, going into the trade with, and going into the market day with a list helps. All right, some of your favorite stocks, those of you guys who already know, Caterpillar is one of my favorites to trade in terms of options. Appreciate you, G Child. Bill Betts, appreciate you, man. ANTH. I saw you contact me about that today on ANTH on a failed drug. What was that? Failed cystic fibrosis drug. All right. Now this is really interesting because this company has lost now 2 times. This drug has failed 2 times on the company now. According to this article, you had one failure either back here in 2016 or this one in March. It's one of these two. This same drug, this very same drug, led to the failure of what we saw today on ANTH. All right, this is basically was the conclusion of that. Interesting candlestick for the day. So you're seeing guys buying the dips. This is a very interesting candlestick for the lows. I can't say that the selling is up because you hit a high of 57 cents today and it came back down. I believe probably due to some profit taking for guys who were smart enough, right? Guys who were smart enough to buy the 49-cent offers literally 2 minutes into the open. Let me go back to a 5-minute if I can see it. There it goes. I'm going to have to zoom in pretty close. But literally, a minute or two into the trading day, you had some 49-cent, 48-cent offers on the ask, and guys snatched that up. I mean, that went really, really quick. That went really, really quick. All right. Interesting move here. Again, you're seeing here the RSI. So you got buying coming back into this. It's going to be interesting to see how ANTH plays, at least in the short term. We'll see if buyers or bulls have control of ANTH tomorrow, or do we still have people who, were MIA today that are going to need to sell tomorrow morning. 646, you're on the air. What's going on?
Hey, Michelle, it's Ken. How are you?
Ken, what's going on, man?
I wanted to talk about RXMD. It had news. It had news before the market opened. It went all the way up to like 0.27, and then it crashed down to 20 and closed at 23.7. What are your thoughts?
Well, I mean, look, I mean, huge volume, right? I mean, this is a very, very impressive volume that's been coming into the stock, and it stayed in the stock. We brought this up a week and a half ago. You know, even at these high RSI levels, we watched 80, then we watched 85. Now we're at 89. You know, the candlestick isn't the prettiest, but you've had one about a week ago? What day was that? That was March the 6th. You have a very similar candlestick, and you had continuation of buying the very next day. So I say continue on, man. I think you hold into the morning, and we'll see what the price action is doing tomorrow. If you're seeing guys, taking profits, and you're seeing that 22, 21 getting tested, if you're up huge, I think you start taking profits there. But for the most part, I would try to stay in it as long as it stays above 22, which was the ninth high of the day.
Crazy. Wow. Yeah. Thank you. Let's go to the RNVA. On Friday, it closed very weak. It closed at 135 on Friday. Today, it resumed the uptrend, and I believe the 50-day moving average is the test at 0.0195. I think it's an interesting stock.
Yeah, I think it's a very interesting stock, and I think you're going to have to be patient with this one. Look, you got a lot of guys who are probably sitting on some double O's, right? Because we're coming literally from the 0050s, 0040s. So RNVA, it's got guys in there who are sitting on, huge positions, and they're going to take profits into this new volume. But I think if you're willing to be a little bit patient, you can see this in the high twos, maybe even 0.0250 over the course of, maybe 2 or 3 weeks. Maybe not even that much. I mean, you had 21% gain today on 77 million shares traded today. So a lot of volume coming in, but you're going to have to be patient in this because you're going to have guys sell, and it is what it is. But I can't lie. Friday was pretty disappointing because it was on my watch list on Friday.
I know.
And to see it sell like that was pretty disappointing.
There might have been some dilution. I don't think the AS is totally maxed out yet, and I think maybe there is a little bit of dilution. I mean, every penny stock has dilution, but I think the OS is about 477 million, which is still pretty small. And with this kind of volume, I mean, it keeps turning over, which is positive. So
yeah, very, very positive. And speaking of the dilution, I think it's already out there, man. I don't know if they're putting out any more paper. I've got to check the 10Ks and see if there is still more paper, if there was any written out recently. But I think it's pretty much out there. It's one of the reasons why it got to this low. So if they're still putting out paper, that's pretty disappointing. But for the most part, I think it's already out there. And again, it's kind of showing here on this RSI as well as on the chart. Guys are buying tons of share, and they're actually holding it.
Right. There's been some big block buys, which is good.
Absolutely.
I want to mention, you mentioned about the semiconductors. It's funny, I saw it on Twitter this morning around 8 a.m. that the price target for Micron was raised from 55 to 100 by one of the big firms this morning. Yeah. And, you could have actually bought calls. The stock opened up at 56.50, and you could have bought weekly calls and made money on that today.
Yeah, I think now you're probably a little bit too late on the weeklies. I think you could probably still buy some monthlies out there, and you're going to enjoy a fabulous March for MU. High on the RSI, you might get a day or two pull back in here, but I think this stock now stays, high 70s for the time being for quite a while. You saw that a lot in NVIDIA in 2017. Micron is going to catch up to what NVIDIA did. Micron could be NVIDIA of this year. I think it really could be that stock for this year.
That is great. Wow. I just wanted to give you an example of why you shouldn't buy into the stories. Like, for example, if you look at BYOC, everyone boasted capital is supporting them. It's going to the moon. Well, meanwhile, we're now below the 21-day moving average. Yeah. And until that bottoms, you got to stay clear of something like that. That's the BYOC.
Yeah, but I mean, you made money in it. I mean, we liked it.
I did. Yeah.
We liked it on the way up, and now this would be my out as well. I mean, it was breaking at 21 that I have on the screen here. Also now on the daily, you're below my 50 RSI. I don't want anything under that level. So, until it finds a way to get back above that green line on my the 50 RSI, I'd stay far and clear away from this one. So BYOC's got some tests it's got to prove, and we'll see if dip buyers come in to save the stock and save this story, or do guys just head for better and clearer paths here?
My last for the night is the FUSC. If you take a look, that has definitely started to turn the corner. The MACD starting to curl positive on FUSC. Looks interesting. It definitely, a big gain. It had digested.
Yeah, this was again very similar chart to BYOC. That this one has had a choppier run. I don't know what the story is on this one. I know it's is it an IT services? What kind of company is this?
Yeah, it's IT. Something with an app.
Yeah, definitely a lot choppier ride than the BYOC. Where the volume seems to be kind of fading a little bit today. We were sub 1 million. So it's already a cheap stock. So when you're seeing volume problems, you're trying to figure out here is the story dying off? Are guys losing interest? You don't want to see that because volume gets the spreads get a little wide and guys start dumping shares. So I think this was one to watch if you aren't already in it.
Okay, that's it for me tonight. Thanks.
Appreciate it. Thank you, Ken. Yeah, I think you stand on the sidelines with this one, man. Until volume starts coming in, as you can see there on my screen, you're seeing volume drying up, over the month so far in FUSZ. All right, so let's see if some buying starts coming back into that. Yes, indeed. Yeah, RKDA. That was the play of the day for Friday. If you have black box stocks, that was the play of the day for Friday. Beautiful chart for Friday. That was the winner on Friday. Here today, and interesting because there are two ways to kind of play those alerts. You can either play the long side, the day they run, or what I've noticed is either the very next day or 2 or 3 days later, you can play the downside move if you're willing to short some of those stocks that have ran 30, 40, 50, 60, 70%. All right. You can, especially when you look at PIXY, a stock that was the biggest gainer on the day on Thursday, Wednesday and Thursday, I believe, because that was a 2-day move for PIXY. But as you can see here on RKDA, 21 moving average break. So we're below that. Got below that at 1 o'clock, and it's been a solid short ever since. So, again, below the 50 on their RSI, so it's been confirmed here. You saw the crossover on the MACD a lot earlier. So, MACD was already showing you, weakness developing in the stock. So, you already saw really, significant weak spots in the volume showing up in RKDA. MACD gave you that signal a lot earlier. It's interesting. What's the word for it? I want to say, what's the word for when the, I know there's a word for it. When an indicator is showing you a bearish pattern and the stock isn't showing it just yet. It's going to come to my mind in a bit. Let's keep it going. All right. What's going on, money bags? Tony said, am I using black box stock? Oh, yeah, of course. I have black box. And, of course, the shout out to the people at Equity Feed. So Equity Feed, still doing my scans with Equity Feed. And then black box is the alert system. That's all. Simply the alert system. All right. And then, of course, I use TradingView for my charts. All right, because nothing else comes close. And, of course, Interactive Brokers for my orders. What's going on, Shaquille? All right. Nice move. Nice move. Jeff, you said you want to double your money in GE. Call for September 6th to the 16th on September 21st. Yeah, let's go look at GE real quick. Again, we talked about that one last week. I did like that one, man, and I was very bullish on that move. It kind of scared me a little bit there. What day was that I kind of got a little word on that? I emailed you on that. I want to say that was the 8th, where that doji candle showed up. But, boy, you had buyers come in and save you on Friday. that was a beautiful Friday. You really needed that. After 3 days of very inconsistent buying, you had a long-legged doji, pure doji right there. You had a beautiful candlestick here. Slight bottom wick, that's fine because that's very bullish here as guys are buying the lows. Very little wick at the top. So guys loving the stock here. And then there's the continuation. You didn't have a commitment of the 520s or higher. 533 was your high. But again, as you can see, here's the daily chart. Getting above 50. You haven't been above this level going back to January 11th. So this is very bullish. This is a very bullish sign right here. So you want to, if you're one of these guys who's in, here in February with a nice call like Jeff, with the $15 call with a lot of time on it. That's why we always talk about if you're going in and with an option, you give yourself a lot of time just in case you're not right in the short term, right? You got days and days and days to be able to really decide, okay, do I sell this time back into the market, or am I just a bit early and I'm going to allow the market to kind of come to me? And that's what happened with Jeff's call. He had an opportunity to buy a call that had what? Hey, Jeff, what was your time on that? Was it the Septembers? Yeah, it's September. So, if you bought for that $15 call, was it also a September? I'm just going to go with the fact if you bought a September, that's a September option. It's a lot of time. That's a lot of time for that option to go from 14 to 15, right? And if he's not right in the first week, in the first 2 weeks, in the first 3 weeks, he still has a significant amount of time equity to continue to stay, grounded in that price. But he didn't need that much time, and of course now he's up significantly. He can take his profits and sell all that time back into the marketplace, where he'll find significant amount of buyers now for a $15 call that's in the money that has now multiple months of time still in it. Multiple months of time still in it. A Ranger, yes. Yes, I can't get enough A Ranger on it. I mean, the volume is really drying up, so I can't get enough. I can't get enough. Just right now, I'm just slowly building up. I see you guys are still talking a lot of shit in the chat rooms about my videos and trying to tell people to flag it and whatnot, but I mean, my case stays the same. I think this goes lower. I know what it is it's a pump and dump. It is what it is, but volume is very low. But I look at PTOF and I see a MGTI or a CAN or, it's very, very similar things where you had guys who get excited about a company and their the potential for the company, but eventually they don't deliver and they never deliver. And that's just kind of what happens, right? It's kind of what happens. And you're seeing MGTI will slowly, eventually that paper comes due and you'll slowly see this go all the way back to the ones and then eventually into the single digits. All right. I mean, I'm talking, you'll eventually see that do a BLKG where you have a stock go to as high as $1.50 and now is trading at, 0001. Right, something like that, and you'll that's how these pump and dumps always end up. All right, you'll see do something like that. All right, can I zoom in, of course, to give you guys an example of that? Well, they'll do. I mean, this was, there we go. This was 2015-ish, 2015, 2016-ish, 240. Right, had multiple months, then eventually all that paper comes due, and now you're sitting here at 0001. Right, 0001. Yeah, you just got to have an account that's willing, that's large enough where, and it's not even have to be large enough. You just have to be willing to be squeezed a little bit here and there. But for the most part, you already know what it is. Yeah. What's going on, Stock Z? All right. And that goes for, shout out to guys who are on my cans. Right, here's CAN. That's selling off. That was written on my website. Buds. Buds is another one. What else? CBDS. You know what all these marijuana companies all of them that were built on the hype of marijuana. Now that we've got legalization in the most profitable states, it's time to separate the bullshit from the real, you know? And as guys start really looking at the paperwork, you realize what's bullshit and what's not. And that's what's happening right now. All right. 862, you're on the air.
Hey, how you doing?
Doing good. Who am I speaking with?
This is Jerry, Redneck Trader.
All right, Jerry, what's going on? What you got for us?
PACB.
Okay.
Got a small position in there. It's in an uptrend right now. It retraced today, and looks like you're going to have a little bit of a breakout tomorrow.
PACB. Tell us a little bit about the company here.
Honestly, they're like a bioscience company. They came out with some news last Thursday, I believe it was, and it had a nice big, what was that, the 7th, I believe it is. They had some news come out, and it's been kind of in an uptrend lately. I can't remember exactly what the news was, but it was pretty decent news, and it's been in an uptrend. I think it's going to hit at least probably like the 320s.
Okay.
Or it's got a gap to fill around 397, but I don't know if it's going to actually hit that.
Yeah, it's. I mean, you know, like are they producing right now? I mean, do they have any kind of maybe a trial going on? Is there any kind of incoming news? Are you aware of anything like that?
Yeah, hold on one second. You know, look it up right this second.
Let's see here.
It shows enhances performance and affordability of key applications on a SQL system. The SQL system can achieve up to 10 gigabytes per smart cell for genomic libraries, effective doubling throughout. I don't know. Honestly, I don't know what it all means here.
Okay.
Something about a whole genome sequencing for humans. Some kind of far out beyond my thing. But
no problem.
Anyway,
no problem. Yeah, we'll keep watching it. I mean, right now, you know, it's got a nice little healthy move on the daily. You're back above some positive momentum here, and you know, it's got something. I'd love to see a little bit more volume in that, right? I mean, it's, you know, we're just under 1 million, but it's getting better. It's getting better.
It's normally around 1 million, you know, 1 million a day, a little over 1 million. That's why I got into it, because I had some decent volume, and I got in around the 50-day moving average, which is about 264. So I'm going to ride it up, see what happens.
Okay.
I know it's going to go up. The other one I was looking at was CLDX.
Okay. Another biotech. Okay.
Yeah, I was looking at this. It's starting to have a breakout, and it made a higher low today. So I'm going to kind of watch it tomorrow and see what happens, and if it breaks that red candle, I'm going to enter in it.
All right. Not bad. Appreciate it, man. Thank you so much for the call.
Hey, one more thing before you get off the phone. I don't know if you want to check this out. I saw something about wireless energy being approved by the FCC.
Okay.
I don't know if you know anything about that. I don't know any tickers that would be involved with wireless energy, but if that's all true, I would think that would be something to look into for making some good money on that.
Yeah, we'll definitely look into that. There's a company out in, I want to say, on the West Coast that sold something to Japan. If you guys remember, this was that company that had a product that they put out in the ocean, and it uses turbines to read or to use the power of the ocean waves to generate, it was called Ballard Power Systems, I think it was called.
Yep, I do remember that.
There it goes, BLDP, that's the ticker. And BLDP had a product where, and they still have, that's basically their main thing, is that they put these things out in the ocean and they use turbines to generate energy, and the energy is sent wirelessly to cities. I'm not sure. I don't understand the underlying technology, but it's a lot to learn there. Appreciate the call, man.
All right, man.
Yes, indeed. Yeah, hey, guys, when it comes to these biotechs, it's really, I mean, obviously you can play the charts, but the story plays so much a part of why guys love, trading biotech stocks. Whether they are going towards or about to announce a phase 3, trial or release some kind of data or an FDA ruling on something that they put out for them to rule on. There's a great website. It's called Biopharma Catalyst, and you guys should have this in your bookmarks. All right, let me give you the link. It is the FDA calendar. It's regularly updated. You can put the ticker right in there, and you can be able to see, all right, hey, this company has, this so-and-so data coming up. For example, I see right here on the website, if I go to SLS, the ticker SLS, right, this is a $5 stock. It's been really beat up, as you can see here, from 2017 into 2018. I see here on March 19th, the company has a phase 2 abstract to be presented. So they've got a trial that had been going on regarding multiple melanoma, and they're going to be presenting some kind of data on March 19th. You're going to need this website to really stay on top of these pharmaceutical plays. All right? Let me go and put that into the chat room so you guys can bookmark that website and have that. So when you pull up a biotech stock, you're interested in, you like the chart, you go to that FDA calendar, you're like, oh, wow, okay, they've got an FDA, decision that's going to be coming, or again, a trial, data that's going to be released in a month or 2 months. Now you understand what the underlying story is driving the buy, That's how you really looked at that information. That's how you look up that information. Appreciate that, Antonio King. All right, shout out to Stock God, Kelly Rob. What's up, man? Yes, indeed. So that's how you find that information out. Yes, indeed. Fisher G said, what do I mean by selling the time back to the market using options? Well, that time, for example, if you buy, because we can spend an hour talking on that, but if you buy an option that's 6-9 months, a year out, every single day, business day, trading day, that's time value. And if you are expecting a $1 move, you got a leap option, you're expecting a $1 move in the next 15 days. It doesn't happen in the next 15 days. Well, you've got, 350 days left, 51 days. Whatever that is, 350 days left on that leap option to sell back into the marketplace. So each business day, each day, that's trading, that's time value. All right. Let's keep it going. Watt. Yeah, I have to look up that news he's talking about, the the government approving some kind of wireless energy. Wireless energy. Okay, I do see here a couple. Let me see any news on that. Don't see too much news on it. See a lot of 5G talk. I'm going to have to look that up in particular, but there's a lot to be excited about when you talk about 5G. That's a whole nother conversation, but there's a lot to be excited about that too. When you bring up Watt, Watt, was a stock that many of us enjoyed at these much lower levels. I mean, if you got to bring up Watt, here is Watt, right? If we look at Watt back, at the beginning of this show, early 2016, mid 2016s, when you used to enjoy Watt at $4 and $5 and $6, and then what happened at the end of last year, and seeing Watt go as high as $34. That was the biggest gainer on the market for, I want to say 2 or 3 days. 2 or 3 days where you had an incredible run in the stock. And I believe it's because that float was, what was that float? Yeah, there it is. 16 million shares, right? 16 million shares on that float. So, you get great earnings, you get a great, announcement of news that's really showing kind of fundamental change to the business. You got 16 million shares outstanding. It's going to fly. It's going to fly. Absolutely. Yeah, George, you should. You really should. I mean, I think Jeff. Hey, Jeff, was that your first option on GE? Was that your first time playing options? Let's get back to a penny stock here. ADAC. Biotech. Biotech. Don't know much about it. Boy, that's an ugly looking chart. You're seeing some bit of life here. Some bit of life here. Looks like the company's May a U.S. defense contract orders push. All right, so it looks like the company may have some kind of defense contract. You're gonna have to put some kind of monetary value behind that, though. Let's see. I can't find a number on that. You know, any company can get a government contract. You gotta figure out how much exactly is it worth. All right. And I'm not seeing a number on that contract, but I do see here some recent news back on February 1st where the company was awarded a government defense contract. That's big enough news for OTCs, right? I mean, that's a huge move for OTCs. And as you can see here, going back to February 1st, you can kind of see what happened because of that. Been some time now. Obviously, you know, the pump is gone, but you're starting to see maybe some new buyers coming in. ADAC. Let us know what the influx is there, but you can do some. I think you can do some better things there. What's going on, Bats? All right. Work with Watt up transmitter. Okay. Watt. Yeah, we looked at Watt. Is there some after hours news on that or something, Bill? Because I don't see any recent news. Let's keep it going. GBHL. Global Entertainment Holdings, another OTC stock. Boy, ugly chart, man. Who brought this up? Add to Leon. Any coming news? I can't tell you if any news is on incoming. I you know, who knows on that? But again, not the prettiest chart in the world. You know, this is probably not where you want to get in on something like this, right? Obviously, there's much less downside risk when you're talking about these kind of illiquid stocks on some, you know, lows. Right now, it looks like you've had some recent accumulation in the stock, but other than that, not pretty at all. Not pretty at all. Oh, Callie Robbie saying Watt was the one approved by the FCC. That was back in December. That was old news. Okay. Yeah. And that was probably why we saw that run in Watt. In fact, I think that is why, being on that chart, as you can see here, that's what caused the stock to, you know, just go to Pluto from single digits, right? You opened up at what, mid eights, and literally 3 days later, you were at $34 a share, representing almost a 400%. That is a 400% increase over 3 days. Insane return. But again, when you got to float that low, you know, you can do that. When you got to float that low, you can do that. All right. Indeed. You said the hype is out there on Watt. Well, that's why it's still hanging up there at the 21s. I mean, they've got something real there. So I got a lot of guys, I'm sure, are thinking that there's a better story that we're not, you know, that the market yet hasn't been able to, you know, figure it out yet. So guys are still holding long on that one. They're still holding long on that one. Interesting retail stocks coming back a little bit. I have a Foot Locker put option that saw a lot of moves today. I did see an interesting play in Steinmart. And these are, you know, I love these little stocks like this that are, you know, you think they're long gone or finally dead, but they're trying to start, you know, showing some kind of life. And This could just be a low RSI situation where coming from some lows, and this is a small bounce, but we're back above some interesting levels here, and crossing my 100 moving average, 50 moving average, excuse me, EMA anyway. And where's the 200 on this? Are we close? All right, 149. We're still pretty far. What's the 100 at? All right, we hit that today at 97 cents. Day's high was 98 cents. So saw Steinmart hit my indicator, my screen on equity feed, and that was really interesting. So I'm going to watch that. It's not GE, it's not GE, but again, it's just another real beat up retail stock that coming off some huge losses out of 2017, and now looking to find some kind of life. But you left a lot of people up at some higher levels today, so I'm definitely watching this. SMRT is the ticker. All right, SMRT is the ticker. Let's see if it's real. Ricardo, is that? Yeah. Steinmart, you said you've been talking about that for a while. Yeah, but that's not the prettiest. It's not the prettiest move in the world, though, man. It's not the prettiest move in the world, but that was a nice move here. That's a nice. What is that about? When did that move really start here? About a month, about 30 days of action right here, and that's a good time. That's a good time. That's a solid return. All right, you're talking about some of these lows were 55 cents. So you're talking 30, 40 cents a share profit. That's a solid return. Okay, GRXXF. And if you guys see a play that you think we should be talking about a lot more, give me a call. Take credit for it. By calling in and saying it, because it's so much different if you say it in the chat room. Some guys aren't listening, not guys. But if you call up and you say, hey, man, this is the play for the next week, 2 weeks, month, next couple months, you own that shit. People remember that. People remember that. But like I've always said, when you get it wrong, don't run away. Because I've had so many guys get it wrong and then they run away and they never call back. You guys know who I'm talking about. Guys used to call up all the time with tickers. Now, they, lost some people some money, so now they're Carmen Sandiego. All right, let's keep it going. GRXXF. I don't know what the story here. It's a graphite play. It looks like it was a pump and dump. Capitulation today on GRXXF. This is one of those beautiful plays that Tim Sykes teaches a lot. And is there a 2-minute chart for it? Oh yeah, I mean this is basically one of those plays, and and again, you probably could get if not barely any borrows on something like this, but that's basically how you trade this in the very open, and you would try to grab some of that and hold on for dear life. He also plays the bounces on these. He's very well known for playing the bounce on these. So you would see that happening, and then you'd see the very next candlestick, guys coming in. You got to pull up your level 2, making sure it's real. And you got to get in and get out. You got to really be a sniper on those kind of plays because they don't last. They really don't last. But GRXXF. All right. Shirley Lewis, ATEN. ATEN. A10 Networks. Nice. I'm not feeling the volume, man. I'm not feeling this. 300,000 shares. I want you to take some time, Shirley Lewis, and I want you to go look at, pull up a level 2 on a stock that trades 300,000 shares and watch a stock like that during the day. It's the most boring thing you've ever seen. I mean, it's maybe worse than watching paint dry, because you literally see, in fact, we'll probably see if I look at the 5-minute chart. All right, so you have a few gaps here intraday, right? A few gaps, but it's not fun to watch. It's not fun to watch. It's not the kind of stock you really want to be in. He had a nice day here, whatever that was, right? No matter whatever that was, looks like there was an earnings announcement. Or was there earnings today? All right, but again, 300,000 shares. It's just not really where you want to be here, and this is not what you want to be trading. You know what I mean? It's just not a good look. All right, let's keep it going. CRIS. Well, nice move. You got us in a little bit late though. Here's the horrible 2017. Starting at 2018 here, you're still losing money going into this month. But boy, what a move over the last couple of days in CRIS. What a move. What are those lows? 44 cents? What did that low start at? March the 2nd. You were a 47-cent stock. Now you're at 98 cents. I'll give you the monster. That's a monster kill. Monster kill. And let's see here where we had caught it in the hourly, because hourly gets you in there a lot sooner. And there it is. RSI cross, MACD cross. Here's the move. MACD cross, RSI cross. Beautiful move here. There's the hourly. That's where you go long and stay long as it stays above the 50 line. And as you can see here, it's proven perfectly. Earnings announcement looks like was recently. Nice call on that earnings. All right, that was a nice call. Looks like the company did well. And sure enough, responded positively on the chart to the news. CRIS. Nice. Yeah, I mean, these you got to scan because there is no scan. There's no RSI level scanner. If I can find one, please, or if somebody knows of one, let me know. But there's not one that I know of. And I've already sent an email to the team over at Equity Feed, and I'm only one guy, but I think that's something people would really be interested in using. They'd be really interested in using, being that it does work. It really does work. And you guys know they have their custom filters on Equity Feed, but boy, is it much better to be able to show a stock that's crossing a certain RSI level. That'd be nice. All right. Thanks again, Bill Betts. P Bank, you said you caught it at 80. Nice move. Strikeforce Technologies, OTC stock. Man, I gotta. This is another one. This is probably let me give myself this. I gotta give myself a round of applause on this one. But this is more or less a flawless victory because we talk about flawless victory. Strikeforce Technologies being that buy and hold kind of play. You can get it at these lows and be willing to be a little bit patient. We talked about this over and over again. Strikeforce Technologies, DTII. Strikeforce actually has the better paper, but as you can see here, you got it at these lows at the beginning of the year, or even at the back in March. Back in February when we started really bringing Strikeforce Technologies up. Now here you are, well over that's 150%. From those February lows at 0056, and you're now at 0.0133. Nice move, Strikeforce Technologies. Nice move. Bill Betty said the big news is that iPhones and iPads could be using that technology. I wouldn't be surprised, and that'd be very impressive. That's why, and again, that's why it's still hanging above at those double digits. Watt is a $8 stock. It's probably significantly less than that. In fact, what's that PE got to be at now? They're not even giving it a PE right now. It's probably losing money. And There's no doubt about it. But okay, so it's not a profitable company. There's no PE there, so more than likely the company's losing cash. So it's just unfortunately you can't really judge it. We could do a price to book. Price to book. What? Right. Finviz could probably have that one on what? Yeah, they're not even giving that information. Shit. So you're going to really have to look this one up. But I do see the stock's up almost 215% from its 52-week lows. Very impressive. Very impressive. You got quite a bit of the float that's short, though, man. You got 39.62% of the float and Watt that is short. That's good and bad. I mean, good in the sense that if this company drops an announcement, I mean, these guys are fucked. I mean, and you're going to see this one go probably beyond that 34. When you're talking 40% of the float is short, that's scary. That's scary. So, it's good and bad. It's good and bad. All right, good and bad. But yeah, I'm not getting any kind of valuation on the company right now, even on Equity Feed or Finviz. Appreciate you on that. What's going on, K-Mac? Yeah, RNVA looking nice. RNVA looking nice. I think Friday was a bit of disappointment. I think you would agree with me on that. Gucci said you're up 100% in 1 month on SFOR. That's how you play penny stocks, man. Finding those stocks that people really aren't interested in anymore, that they are when they do run. Getting in there before the crowd shows up and being that guy that sells to the crowd. 210. You're on the air. What's going on?
What's going on, Sal? What's going on? This is Gerardo.
Hey,
Gerardo.
What's up, man? What you got for us?
What's up, brother? Nothing. Just calling in with some tickers. I got a couple, man. I'm definitely, really learning and take my tickers with a grain of salt. Of course, do your own research. I'm definitely one of those guys that called in and my tickers don't do nothing,
Yeah, no, it's all good though. But I mean, the fact that you still around, yeah, it's all good, bro. I mean, it comes with time, man, and that's what it is. Every day getting better.
If anybody's losing money, it's me, with my own investments. But anyway, so yeah, man. I was checking out this weekend. I was, going through Scanner and just looking at tickers. Mm-hmm. And I'm more of a technical analysis kind of, what I look at first. And then I check the volume, and then I check the float. SPI, I was looking at this morning. I don't know if you saw that volume came in midday.
Yeah, that was really interesting on SPI. What's the float at now? Is it still sub, because it's really low now. SPI, former OTC stock, got uplisted. It was a very expensive stock for quite a while. Obviously, people knew it was a bullshit stock, and it's now severely depressed. What's that? Yeah, 28 million shares out there is the float according to
28.
Finviz.
Yahoo says the same thing.
Yeah. I mean, that's not bad. I mean, that's really good for a stock that's that cheap. So that's actually a good thing. If you were talking $3, $4, I'd love to see it a lot less. But at below $1, that's a steal. So SPI, let's see if it's real, man. I mean, we're above here on the daily.
Right.
Positive momentum is back in. Let's see some confirmation of this bullish energy on SPI. But we see when they do put out some news or when guys really love to buy it, it can really move.
Yeah, something that I do, you mentioned it earlier, is, I like to, I'm still learning, so I like to get in with very little I risk. Mm-hmm. So one thing I do is I look for those, you were looking for the word earlier. I think the word you were looking for was divergence.
There it goes, yes, divergence. That's absolutely correct, right.
So that's, one of the things that I look for, it's a green flag for me. But anyways, so another ticker I'm looking at is as a PAVM. So it's Paul, Alex, Victor, Mark.
Pave Med. Interesting. Tell us a little bit about this company.
Yes, so this is one that I didn't really get too much info on.
I love it. Let me see what the weekly. Oh, I love where this weekly is. Even at this weekly, the volume just sucks though. But let me see here.
Yeah, right. So yeah, I mean, I didn't write down the float either. So yeah, I mean, you just look at it, on a. I go through these. Keep an eye on them.
It's got a stupid low float. I mean, these are the kind of stocks that can end up being chat room pumps. A lot of times,
right?
It's got a stupid low float. It's at a really nice level for a chat room pump. Might show word travel, so it could end up being in somebody's chat room as soon as tomorrow. Now that we've put it out there, but yeah, it's got a sick low float, man. About 8 million shares. I see it's very depressed. I don't know. In fact, let me see if I can pull up the level 2 on that and see what's on there right now. PAVM. And let me see here. Can I pull up level 2?
Earnings was on the 6th recently. So.
See if we have anybody sitting out there. All right, so I'm seeing an ask at 300 at 180, and then we've got a guy at 254 for 2,000. Yeah, man, this is ready to fly, man. This could really fly. You don't really have too much there on the ask. It's probably really thin. I mean, you can get somebody coming there and really pump this up, and it could really do some numbers. But this isn't something that you're gonna throw your whole account at, right? I mean, this is maybe a couple hundred shares, and see what happens over a week or two, and see if somebody puts that opportunity out there. But I wouldn't be surprised if now that we've put it out there, something happens here.
Yeah. So exactly. So I just kind of keep an eye on it, and then if I look at the average volume, and then if by let's say 9 o'clock it's reached the average volume, then I get more interested in it, of course. But yeah.
Okay, that's an interesting little strategy there. So you're talking about if pre-market buying hits an average for its current daily volume?
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm in Central Time.
So, okay. So it's a little different.
Yeah.
Okay, all right. Yeah, I understand what you're saying.
So like an hour in, if an hour in, it's already hit the average volume. I definitely look at it, which is what happened with SPI. Mm-hmm. By 10 o'clock, it already had hit above the average volume, daily average volume.
Okay.
And I didn't get in it because I got busy and I had to leave. But anyways, another one is one more, just INUV. I think, yeah.
Okay, INUV.
Wait a minute.
INUV.
I gave you the wrong, but that's a good one too. But I gave you the wrong one. I don't have any info on that one either.
Yeah, there was INUV. Yeah, this is another one, light volume, but I bet again this is another one where the float's probably sick low. INUV. And these are stocks that 20 million shares outstanding. These are stocks that are very susceptible to manipulation, but you just don't know. When they're going to run. That's the only thing. I mean, they're very much like OTC stocks, but there are a ton of OTC stocks that are low float that can be pumped at any time. You just really don't know when these are going to happen. But what's great about some of these NASDAQ stocks is that when they do run, they tend to run, for the whole day or for at least an hour or two. That gives you enough time to kind of join in on the fun. But INUV, nice play right now, but again, very, very low volume.
Yes. Let me give you one more. The one I meant to give you was NCTY, and this is American Depository Shares, representing one ordinary share. This is like one of those companies.
Yeah, this got pumped. This got pumped back in January. We talked about this one. I do remember bringing this one up. NCTY. In fact, it might be still. Talk about it on Twitter. If I scroll all the way back down a little bit. But this was another. This was a chat room pump way back when.
Floated 11 million.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure this was a chat room pump as well. I'm seeing some commentary back in February. When was that high? It was actually January 16th. Yeah, so it looks like there was some pumping going on in NCTY as well. But again, that's just kind of how this is when you're talking about these dirt cheap stocks with very, very little float.
Yeah, so I just wanted to give a couple that I was looking at, man.
Appreciate you, man.
Appreciate what you're doing. Appreciate the show, man. Everybody have a good one.
Appreciate it, Gerardo.
Thank you.
Yes, indeed, man. Shout out to him for the call. And it's all good, man. I mean, it's all good. I appreciate you calling in and watching. Because you're only going to get better over time, man, especially if you're really putting effort into this. All right. Boy, I love that MU ticker, man. I'm loving that MU ticker. I really wanted to make sure that in 2018 that I wasn't going to miss out on those NVIDIA type stocks. I'm not going to miss out on that one stock that's really going to be that stock where at the end of the year you look back on it and you're like, damn, what a move. You know, what a move. I think it's either going to be MU. It could be I still think it's not too late for Intel. I think it's not too late for a company like Cisco. You know, I think Cisco could still be that stock. So I'm telling you guys, if you haven't gotten into options, you know, I was looking at bull call spreads, bull put, put spreads and whatnot. But, you know, buying some of these great companies that have the technology of the future and putting them together in a way that can make it cheaper for you to go in a very expensive option, you know, but with a lot of time, but with half the cost, sometimes 70%, sometimes 40% of the cost. You know, you got to learn how to do that, man, because I'd hate for you to go into 2019, you know, saying woulda, coulda, shoulda, because that's how I feel, especially when we talk about Amazon. When we talk about Amazon, when we talk about NVIDIA, when we talk about Google. I had some Google calls, but could have went in a lot larger. You know, MARA. This was a nice alert coming out of black box stocks. This was really interesting because the alert came out a bit late. Well, not too much later in the day. The alert came out, but the move came out a little later. The alert came out at 10:37 at Mara. In fact, let's look at the 5-minute. You know, that's my favorite intraday. The move came out at 10:37. So 10:37, somewhere around here. Got you in on that flagging move. And that's how you were able to ride the stock up higher. Mara, M-A-R-A. We'll talk about it in a minute. 919, Bats, what's going on?
Hey, Sal, how was your weekend?
Good.
Excellent. Okay, so, yeah, Friday I got into my first options, finally. Got the clearance on that. So, just briefly, I'm in Johnson & Johnson and Procter & Gamble. You don't have to bring up the charts for those. Just wanted to let people know that officially the paper trading has stopped. I'm in WRCW, the one I called maybe last week. That was around $9 or $10, so I'm in that one too. And I'm in an oil stock SLB, but yeah, just FYI. There's a couple that look really good right now, options-wise. I like Goodyear Tire. You can bring up that chart.
Yeah, what's the ticker on Goodyear?
GT.
GT. I figured it should be something that simple. Goodyear Tire. Oh, wow, nice. I see here the MACD crossing the daily. And, boy, I bet that hourly is a lot more bullish. Let's see. Yes, it is. All right, so not bad. A GT, Goodyear Tire, coming out of a depressed state too, man. You know.
Yeah. It's in a descending channel actually. But What I'm hoping it's going to do is it will go and touch the top of the channel. If you just draw the lines, you'll notice that the channel actually, it should, I mean, if it's actually going to follow this channel, it should go back up to about 33-ish, around about there before it drops again. So I'm loving this. I mean, for my options play, like I said, I focus on the S&P 500 stocks, and all I do is I look post-earnings and then look for a bullish reversal from there. So it looks like it's really bouncing back nicely. I believe earnings on this, let's see, I have it here. Earnings will be around the 26th of April, so a lot of time to get into this. What I've found has been working for me, especially when picking these options plays, is, I look at what the daily chart looks like. If the daily chart is bullish, I then go to the weekly chart. If the weekly chart and the daily chart are both bullish, then it means that, I'm interested in getting into something like that. You will happen to find that in certain situations when you've got an early move on the daily chart, it still looks bearish on the weekly. So you kind of have to weigh and measure. But sometimes, like if it hits an important support at the bottom, then in my case, I think I'll get in. So that's good here. The second one I've got is ExxonMobil, so that's XOM. And this one I really like this chart because on the weekly, so ExxonMobil or XOM, these guys are reporting earnings on the 27th of April. So once again, lots of time to get in. On the weekly chart, you've got somewhat something that looks like a bullish tweezer bottom, which is good. I like the two buck teeth at the bottom of the chart, and obviously on the daily chart it's bullish, and it looks like it just touched the 8 exponential. So for early movers, I like to get into something that's just crossing the 8 exponential moving average and on its way up. So that is ExxonMobil. The other one I have is kind of like a weekly play, and that's General Mills, GIS. These guys are going to be releasing earnings next week on the 21st of March. So if you had actually caught the bottom, you actually would have been up quite nicely now, at least about, maybe close to $2 up on that one. Sorry, General Mills is GIS. Yeah, okay, you've got that up. So this one crosses nicely. I like when it forms a nice round bottom and starts curling back up. That's really good. Right now it's above the 8 exponential moving average, so I would watch this for the weekly. Let me see, I had one more. I think this was an oil play. XEC.
Alright. Oh yeah, it's another one coming from a very low risk area as well.
And exactly. What I find has worked really, really well for me is if it's a month past earnings with maybe another 1 month or 2 months left and it starts reversing, that's a good time to get in, because essentially you want all the sell-off after earnings to happen. You want to give it time. So for instance, like when was it Foot Locker that had a bad week last week, or one of those other ones where you get a sudden drop? You kind of want to give it time to find a bottom, and I found that 2 to 4 weeks gives the stock enough time to find a bottom. Once it's hit the bottom, then you basically get in and hold it up until the next earnings, but not through it. Then I've got the last one is EGO. This one's not an options play, although I think it is optionable. It's a cheap Canadian gold stock. That's the one I'm in pretty heavy.
Okay.
I have 10,000 in that one, and because of my situation, I have to hold the stock for 1 month. Next week will be 1 month, but with a week left on this one, it looks like today they announced senior management changes. So that could be good or that could be bad. I think the CFO is leaving and they're replacing the CFO. And then a couple of executives, a few people have joined the company. So it's interesting that they're announcing this with a week left in earnings. So
Yeah.
we'll have to see how that plays out. But essentially, this was another post-earnings play. But once again, because it's not an S&P 500 stock, you don't typically see like the same patterns that I see with the S&P 500, but it does fall within that kind of group of post-earnings. So just watch out for that one. The one that's disappointing me that I thought would actually be curling upwards now on its way up is Tiffany's, TIS. Tiffany is what I call a double whammy stock because they've got dividends and it's also post-earnings. It looks like it actually had a bad day today.
Yeah,
but
down
once
one.
again,
Yeah.
so these guys are reporting earnings in 4 days. Maybe there's enough time on the 16th or Friday, I guess. Is that Friday? Yeah, I think so.
Yes.
So we'll see what happens to it between now and Friday. If it does go up, I mean, right now I'm still bullish on it, but it's not behaving the way I expect it to. We have a convergence, actually, of the 8 exponential and the 20 simple moving average. When those two squeeze together, almost like Bollinger Bands, I do normally see the stock go up. So just keep a watch for Tiffany TIS. And yeah, that's all I have for you guys today.
There it is. Thank you so much, Bats. I appreciate the call, man.
Likewise, thanks. Good job. Take care, sir. Bye-bye.
Yes, indeed. Shout out to Bats. Great call. I mean, great tickers across the board. Great tickers across the board. I think out of all of them, I love his Exxon call the best because it's incredibly liquid. It's very affordable. And I think you're not going to be waiting too long to get a move in this. I mean, you're seeing you have earnings as soon as late April coming around. You're getting it at a relatively low, cheap, very, very low risk price as well. Bats, I think you would agree with me that Exxon call looks amazing right now, man. At this, I mean, you can go in there with maybe some May or even some June options and sell this into earnings with you know, some nice profit coming out of these lower levels. All right, these lower RSI levels. You know, and it's so interesting. I had a conversation today with a guy, and we were talking about how, you know, our grandkids, they're going to be scrambling to buy puts on oil, right? We know oil's not the future. You know what I'm saying? The oil's not the future. And it's going to be very interesting to see how the world gets off oil, because, I mean, they're going to be probably wars fought over it. You know, who knows? But our grandkids are going to be fighting tooth and nail to be buying puts on oil because, you know, electricity, clean energy is the future. All right. We've got some resistance here because I think we've got some generations in charge now that are, you know, not kind of allergic to the rapid pace of change. So they're implementing policies that are not allowing the technology to kind of, you know, really find a base to really start jumping off of. But again, as that generation becomes older and, you know, hate to say the word, but dies off, you've got a generation behind them that understands, you know, wind power, solar power, you know, that's, you know, and embraces it. That embraces it. You know, we've got some people right now in the Senate and House of Representatives that were there during the days when people were wondering, oh, is nuclear energy too dangerous? You know what I'm saying? So we got to get these people out of there with these old ways of thinking about new technology. When you start getting that new blood in there, then you're going to start seeing some of this real change happening when we talk about how, America, how the world fuels itself. All right. Puts on Netflix? Why? Why buy puts on Netflix? Don't start listening to those people, man. Where are all those guys who were talking puts on Apple at the beginning of 2017? You remember those guys? You don't hear from them anymore. You don't hear from them anymore. Let me tell you something about Netflix, man. Netflix, I think you're talking about the NBC, the ABC, the CBS of the future. And you're talking about on a global scale. On a global scale, man. We're not talking about just the United States. They're now, Netflix, I think, is in Puerto Rico. Opened up in Puerto Rico this week. If I'm correct, they're opening up into new different countries where now they're going to be starting putting up those countries' videos and their entertainment on the platform. So if you're in India, you're going to be able to see a lot more Indian movies. You're in South Africa, you're in all these other countries. So there's way too much upside. There's way too much upside for me to say I'm going to buy a put here. And if you're going to buy a put, it better be for a day or two. But if you're talking about, really making some money, you buy a leap on this and you see Netflix, trading at where Google and maybe even Amazon is one day. Way too much upside. And I've been really starting to embrace what Warren Buffett talks about, even though I think he's a greedy bastard. The fact of the matter is when you're buying these stocks, you are buying a piece of the business. And you've got to understand, do I really like the business? And I love Netflix. People love Netflix. People love it so much the company raised the price and they signed up more people. So way too much upside, and you got to understand streaming is the future. It's only a matter of time till they get some kind of NFL deal, NBA deal. It's only a matter of time till live TV shows up on Netflix. It's way too much upside, man. Again, but if you want to risk buying a short-term put, again, a day or two, you can look at the chart. You can see this is the daily chart. It's not too much red here, my man. And the red that is there, you had to be really good at trying to figure out how to get that. Because as soon as the red shows up, boy, there were some guys there ready to buy. Those were buying opportunities. Every single red day in Netflix, as you see here, since 2018 began, has been an incredible buying opportunity. And today's 3% loss is just another day of that. It's just another day. Absolutely, Stockstar. What's going on, Stockstar? Way too bullish, bro. Way too bullish on Netflix. Those are stocks you just can't lose. I saw, Jeff, you were talking about, you said how half of Puerto Rico doesn't have electricity. It's so funny you say that, man, because what's his name? Akon was trying to go into Puerto Rico. He said he could have taken care of that. You guys saw that video? But I guess the government was playing funny business on Puerto Rico, and I think they were on that situation. All right. But I mean, if I had the money, dude, if I'm a millionaire, bro, I'm buying property in Puerto Rico right now. I mean, the day after the hurricane, I'm going in there like, hey, look, I got a check for you right now. At the end of the day, it's about location, right? Puerto Rico after the hurricane was a stock that was like RSI 17. You buying that all day. You know, not to compare somebody's tragedy to a stock, but I mean, you know what I'm saying. There's potential there in a United States territory, beautiful weather. You know what I'm saying? Tax, what is that? It's like tax-free or basically no tax. Way too much upside. Way too much upside. Somebody wanted to take a look at tops. Somebody wanted to take a look at tops, up 9.5%, 9.7% to be exact. You had a really good week, you know, Thursday, Friday, and the shippers. A lot of times they move due to the Baltic Dry Index. Look that up, the Baltic Dry Index. It's a nice little indicator that moves a lot of these shipping stocks. Guys love it. All right, who are into these kind of plays. They're more expensive shipping stocks, but the ones we love because they're in the pennies, you know, the DCIXs of the world, the ships of the world, they all had really nice, you know, Thursday, Friday moves. This one, DCIX, got better paper. Got better paper than many of them. You know, you got your ship, right? I think ship is still out there. You know, you got your others out there. Well, ship is kind of not so pretty on ship. What was Dry's doing? Dry's putting up some gains today. Look at that. You know, I remember this. I'm sure some of you guys as well, too. Dry's putting up some gains today. All right, multiple day gains today on Dry's, too. Interesting move on Dry's. I'll give it a ka-ching on that. Got to give it to Dry's, you know, coming out of beginning of March 1st, 342. Now you're at $4.15 on Dry's. All right, left a bad taste in a lot of people's mouths, but it is what it is. All right. And Jeff, I saw you put up some of those NVIDIA calls, and you're seeing the prices, man. I'm telling you, get into learning about some of those verticals, man. You know, get into learning about how to use those verticals. All right, because you can get into. Let me see here. This is winds up being. That's a. I know you hear the clicking, but that's not what I want to do. Hold on. All right, so we can, let's say we're going to this is a leap. This is a big leap. This is January 17th of 2020. All right, January 17th of 2020. And I want to go, NVIDIA's 249. I want to get an in-the-money call now. I can sell the 250 January 17, 58.50. That's a lot of money. And then I'm going to sell that 250, and then I'm going to buy the 245. All right. And that's called a buy or bull call spread, or that's basically a vertical. That's basically what I did. All I did was I sold a higher priced, more expensive call option. I sold it to finance to help me buy a deeper in the money call option. So I sold the 250 and I bought the 249, or what was that, the 245, all right, in order to help me finance it. And that makes the price, that's $231. That's $231. So now I'm able to buy an option that's 2 years out for $230. And you don't need a significant amount of margin. I mean, you got $1,000, you can do this. You don't need a lot of, so there are ways to buy options and being able to give yourself a shitload of time by going way out. All right. Now, what's great about that is that now the downside to that is just that your profit is capped, but as well as, options, your downside is capped as well. But your profit is capped. Your profit is capped. All right. But do some research on vertical spreads, man. I think whether it be call, vertical spreads, or even put vertical spreads or put spreads, I think you'd really like that. There's a lot that I'm still learning as well. All right. Iceberg J, you said you're looking to buy some Netflix out the money calls. Well, I mean, that's kind of been the way to kind of go there if you're willing to get some time. April 13th, I think April 13th, which one are you looking to do? He said he wants to go Netflix out of the money call. Right now you're at 321. Let's see here. April 13th. Why you want to go April 13th? It's kind of thin on the volume. Go April 20th. April 13th is way too thin on the volume. All right, you want to stick with those. April 20th is a little. You got much more volume on April 20th. Yeah. So April 20th. Again, this is another opportunity where, again, you got very expensive options that you can make very cheap. All right. I'm going to sell that 330 for 1640, and I want to buy a deep in the money, help that finance a deep in the money 315 for 24. All right. So I'm selling the April 20th 330 call. I'm going to sell that. I'm going to hit the bid on that. And then I'm going to buy a deep in the money April 20th 315. It's not even that deep, really, for $24. All right. My total price is $7.20. Well, that means $720. So that basically means if the price of Netflix winds up being greater than $322.20, right? If the price of Netflix winds up being greater than $322.20 by April 20th, which is a very high probability of that, that means my profit, my maximum amount of profit is $780. If the price of Netflix winds up being less than $322.20, my maximum possible loss is $720, which was the cost of the trade. That's a high probability trade. That's a high probability trade. All right? I'm putting up 720 to make a high probability 780. I've got a deep out of the money call financing my deep in the money call. I hope you guys are figuring out how I'm doing that. Can I put this on the screen to show you guys? Would that be better? Let me see here. Can I put this on the screen? Let me see. Is there any way to put this on the screen? Let me see. I'm trying to see if I could do this. All right, let me see, because I got a dummy account in Tastyworks. So let me see if it's gonna work. It might not, but because sometimes it be funny like that. Let's see, can I do that? All right, hold on. Take that off. All right, hold on, guys. All right, I'm gonna do this. Hold on. We're gonna do a quick trade.tastyworks.com because I still got that dummy account. Alright. Log in. All right. It's taking a minute, guys, but it's working. All right. Looks like it's working. Okay. So, all right. So let's do a trade. All right. Let me open up my thing here. And we'll do it real quick. For those of you guys, again, go to, tastytrade.com and jump into options. Is a great show. It's a great show. You can learn these things. All right, we'll do. Let me see here. Can I do it like that? All right. So here it is. All right. Now just know you know what the stock. So let's do a stock. Let's do. Let's do his Netflix. He wanted to let's do Netflix. We do Netflix. All right. So it looks like this is the Netflix chart. All right. So here are the options that they're giving us. And again, I'm in Tastyworks. And he wanted the April 13th, but it's going to be a lot better for him to do the April 20th. So we're going to click April 20th. All right. I want to clear what's already out there. And we're going to do a call spread, a vertical. We're basically going to do a vertical. All right. So here are the out the money calls, right? Netflix right now is going for $321. So basically above this line, like with any broker, these would be your out the money calls, right? Calls are on the left side, puts are on the right side, right? Okay, so of course you already know these are the in the money puts. So here are the calls. These are out the money. They're on the left side. They're out the money. On the other side, as you see, here's the arrow in the money, right? So I'm going to sell. I'm going to take this 335 that I'm not sure if we're going to get above 335. But even if we got above it, it's still going to work in my favor. So I'm going to take, actually, let me go, I'll take the 335. Well, it's 330. This looks better. I'll take a 330. I'm going to click sell. I'm going to sell the 330. So I'm going to hit the bid. I'm hitting the bid. This is the bid offer on the bids I'm selling. And I'm going to use it to finance an in-the-money purchase. So I'm going to go to these 315s that are about $7 in the money. Very expensive. These are $24. I'm going to buy that. So I'm selling and then I'm buying. All right? So I'm using the money that I would get from this, right, as a seller of that to finance my purchase of that 315. So this 615, imagine the 1640 going underneath this 2450 and putting a big subtraction mark there. All right, and now I'm going to go to the broker and say, okay, that's the trade I want to make. And that's the trade. This is the cost of the trade. The broker is going to say, all right, so here's your estimated cost, $720 plus your transaction cost. All right, this is a day trade. Your buying power is going to be reduced by $722. And here is your maximum profit and your maximum loss. So your maximum loss, we already know what that is what you're putting up. But here's your maximum profit. All right, so the only thing that's bad about a call vertical is the fact that your profit is capped. Your profit is capped. But this is what makes it make sense, is the fact that a $24 option, and I want to show you, I'm going to go back. All right, I'm going to go back because I want to show you what that looks like by itself. Going into April 20th and just buying, oh, okay, this is the 315 deep in the money call. Oh, yeah, I'm going to buy that. All right, let's go. Look at that. That's a $2,400 purchase. That's a $2,400 purchase buying one. So I financed this. I just financed and saved myself almost $1,700. $1,700 by simply going into the market and capping my profit, right? So going into it, buying an out of the money call and saying, all right, I'm just going to go ahead and sell that. And now my profit is capped. Oh, did I choose the right? Right one. Which one did I choose last time? I think I chose the 330. Oh no. Let me get rid of that one. I think I chose the 330. There it is. All right, 330. I'm selling it to finance my 315. Boom, $720. Do you guys see how I did that? And the only downside is the fact that my profit is capped. If the price of Netflix winds up being greater than $322.20, I'm guaranteed $780 by April 20th. Guaranteed. Guaranteed. This is what you, this is, you know, when guys will say, oh man, Sal, how are you staying home, man? How can I quit my job? How can I get monthly income? Great companies that are generating great products and services, going in the right directions with clean charts, putting time on your options, and guaranteeing yourself monthly income. You know, obviously you've got to have money to work with, right? I mean, you know, you just can't jump in, but you know, this is something you can do, and you don't have to just choose one. You can go into such a situation like this. We'll do 3 of these, right? Somebody like me will probably go in, you know, 3 of these, and I want to buy, all right, another 3 of these. All right, so each leg will be 3. All right, I'm going in there. It's going to cost me $2,100. All right, it's going to cost me $2,100. Still cheaper than if I bought 3, you know, individually. And now here's my max profit. So I'm going to end up, as long as Netflix stays above $322.19 by April 20th, I'm guaranteed $2,300. I'm guaranteed $2,300. You know, on April 20th, I can sell it. Not necessarily the day of expiration. I'll probably sell it maybe, you know, it would be like, you know, a day, maybe even 3 or 4 days, especially if we were way beyond. If we're like 340s by then, you know, I mean, I'd, you know, cash it out because that's your maximum profit. It's not going to go higher than that. All right, it's not going to go higher than that. So if your option already, you get, you know, 7 days from now, you're already at 2340. Just go ahead and sell, and take your profit, and then do it again. Wrap it up for the next month. All right. Now, if somehow Netflix, you know, fucks up, you know, FBI investigation, Netflix drops below $322 a month from now, I lose $2,100. All right, which is the cost of my trade. All right, I hope I didn't lose anyone. I hope I didn't lose anyone. All right, I hope I didn't lose anyone. I hope I didn't lose anyone. No, you said I only make $60. No, bro, look, you put up $2,100 to make another $2,300. Right? And again, you don't have to. So if you're using the leverage, you're using. Again, I hope I didn't lose anyone. I know I'm not the best at explaining things. That's why I'm not a teacher. But I want you guys to see the potential in that. And that's why you would go to a Netflix and you look at the weekly chart, right? And I'm looking at this weekly chart. I don't mind. I don't mind doing that kind of purchase when I look at this weekly chart. All right? I'm looking at this Netflix weekly chart. And I'm saying to myself, you know what? A monthly option is actually really good. This is a really good. Imagine if you were, you know, a month ago. Let's go back a month. This is this week starting up. This is, you know, let's go back a month. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right. This is a month ago, right? So we're talking February 12th, 2018. You did that call for $257? Dude, you got your return. You got your return. You're in the money. You did an option for $258. Hey, if by, you know, March 20th, if Netflix is above $260, you get $3,200. you've got your money back. You've already got your money. You know. And again, please don't go in and betting the house. Start with one contract first. Start with one contract. If you like it, then you can add more as you're making money. You know. These are the kind of things I was doing last year with Google, but again, I always hit myself because I could have gone in a lot larger. You know, when we look at stocks like Google, you know, could have got in a lot larger. It was a beautiful opportunity for monthly income, just generating every 4 weeks, virtually guaranteed income. You know, through 2017, just boom, 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 boom. You know, could have went in a lot larger with some much larger contracts. All right. Lennox Johnny said, in that example, you double your money. Right. That's how it works. You can sell that option the next day if you made a profit. You can, but your profit is not. It's not max though. It's the time on it plays a part as well, right? The time on it plays a part as well. So you can't sell it the very next day because you're not at the full. Your maximum profit hasn't been reached yet. You see what I'm saying? Your maximum profit hasn't been reached yet because the maturity is also built into that profit as well. So you're going to have to wait a little bit. You will have to wait. So you can't just sell it the very next day. Right. There's some maturity in it that's required. All right. Somebody want to see it one more time, or you guys are good? All right. You're using the market to finance a purchase. It's like financing a car almost. You know, it's like I would say it's almost like leasing a little bit. You know. Let me know if you want to see it one more time. We can go more expensive. Even we can do an Amazon trade and show you how to trade Amazon. And, you know, again, without putting up that much cash for these expensive Amazon trades. You know, you look at a stock like Amazon, which is a beast. Here's Amazon, right? Look at this. This is a weekly, all right? And you want to show you why it makes sense. Look at the monthly. You're doing a monthly on something like this every month. That's automatic cash. All right. And again, we'll do it one more time then, because I want you guys to understand how this goes. Because they don't, you know, we're not taught this kind of stuff. Most of us are not taught this kind of stuff. Somebody's got to introduce it to you. All right. So let me go back on to that. Where's my platform at? No, let me see. Where did I put it at? Okay, let's go back to it. All right. Make sure you guys can see it. Here's the window. Okay, so let's go back. All right, clear this one out. We're going to go to Amazon now. All right. We're going to go to Amazon. All right, so here's Amazon. And we're going to go again. We're going to go with a monthly. All right, we don't like a short term, right? Because it's too much risk. And why do that to yourself? All right. So here's Amazon, April 20th. Right? Very expensive stocks, right? These are very, very expensive. Again, this is deep in the money. If I wanted, Amazon right now is trading for $1,598, so $1,598 per share. If I wanted to go with an in the money, this is in the money by $8, $9, I would simply buy that, $59.30 per contract, go to the market. Boom, it'll cost me $5,930 to control 100 shares of Amazon for $5,000. Right? That's a lot of money. That's a lot of risk. I don't want that risk. Why? My profit is undefined. My loss is quite a bit. I don't want to lose all that money. Can you help me lower my risk? Sure. This is what we're going to do. We're going to go back. We're going to clear that. All right. I'm going to find a more expensive option to finance or to help me leverage my in the call option. So I'm going to find something with decent, current open interest, right? So I'm going to go with these 1620s. All right, so I like these 1620s. I'm going to sell that. All right. I still want to deepen the money option. I still want to deepen the money option because I still want to be below the action. So I'm going to go with these. Wow, the 1550s are probably a little bit too far. I don't want to go that low, make it a little bit more expensive. So I'm going to come up to these 1580s. This is a decent spread. That's fine. It's a decent spread on a more expensive stock. All right. Here's the 1580. So I'm about $18 in the money. Right. So I've sold a more expensive option to help me finance. And it's still going to be pricey. I'm going to tell you right now. I'm already looking at it. It's still going to be pricey. All right. And we're just going to do one contract. Boom. There it is. So I just bought a vertical. Cost me $2,000. All right, $2,100 I'm putting up. All right, so you just cut my cost by well over 50%. You cut my cost by well over 50%. Now my profit is capped. Right? And some people may say, I don't know if this trade is worth it. Put it up 21 to make a guaranteed 18. I don't know if it's worth it. But, I mean, that's kind of what you pay when you price, when you buy these kind of even more expensive options than Netflix. But your likelihood of being right is so much higher when you're talking about these more expensive options because these are great companies. They cost more for a reason. And you're talking about a company that has monopoly power here. So, and again, I just showed you the monthly chart. So I showed you what your odds are to get that $1,800. I'll never say it's 100%, but I would say it's very likely that a month from now, Amazon, if it's greater than the price of $16.0125, we're at $15.98. So $3 from here. All right, $3 from here. So can you say that 30 days from now, Amazon will be higher by $3? I can almost assure you that Amazon will probably be more than $3 now. I mean, bearing in mind, again, FBI announcement, accounting fraud, I can almost assure you that you're going to be at least up $3 in 30 days. And that's your guaranteed windfall right there. It's 18, 20, 75. All right. Obviously, if it doesn't make it, right? If Amazon winds up being less than 16.0125, your maximum possible loss is 21.25. All right. It's 21.25. Now, a lot of people love to see the higher numbers. Let me show you the higher number. That's fine. We'll show you the higher number. All right. Let's. You're a big baller. All right. We'll give you 3 contracts. All right. I'll give you 3 contracts on the long. All right. Let's go to the high. All right. $6,000 trade. $6,000 trade. You're putting up $6,000. Your maximum profit, again, if you're greater than 16.0125, your max profit is going to be 56.25. All right. Your max profit will be 56.25. And that's your maximum profit amount. That's the max you're going to be able to make. So if you get there, with a week left, you can sell it. You get there with a week left, you can sell it, but you can't sell it tomorrow. If it goes above that, even the next, you can't do that. It's got to mature a little bit. It might get to 16.05, and your profit would be at 14 or 15 because you still got quite a bit of time on the option. So it's got to mature. All right. If it doesn't go right, of course, as you know, this is options. You're out 63.75. Bearing in mind that you let it, go all the way down to, to where you lose all your money. All right. But what's the likelihood of Amazon, again, in 30 days being up $3? What's the likelihood of that? That's very high. It's very, very high. All right. So again, you know, yeah, volatility is very high, and that's why it's priced into the option like that. That's why it's very expensive. That's why it's very expensive. It's a high IV. People expect a lot out of Amazon. You know, you're talking about a company with a virtual monopoly. Cisco. Yeah, Cisco's a lot cheaper. Cisco's a lot cheaper. That's why I like, you know, a company like MU. That's what we're talking about, MU. I think MU is at the beginning of something huge, man. You know, I'm watching MU. I've already got it. I'm going to tell you right now, I've already got a huge position in MU. And I want to do it just one more time to show you. And I'm going to leave it alone. Because you know, you're either going to figure this out and see what the value is here when you're talking about giving you the opportunity to buying great companies for little or no money, or you're not. All right. So here it is. Let me go back in there and show you one more time. All right. We're going to clear out this out. Okay. Again, they don't show you how to do this stuff. All right. Somebody's got to tell you this. And by the way, you see, I didn't charge you $2.99 a month for this. I didn't charge you $2.99 a month for this shit. You know what I mean? All right, let's go back. Now we're going to go to the MU chart. It's going to go to MU. So press like on this video if you like what you're seeing right now. All right. Now, MU, I showed you how the stock is breaking out. I showed you how, you know, there's some huge opportunities for MU to be a $100 and $150 stock. Could happen. All right. So I'm going to go far out. I'm going to go out. I want to go to maybe even these 2019s. All right. Let's go to 2019s. I can go 2020, but we don't have to go that far. Well, actually, why not? Why not? What the hell? You know, no, that's June. Hold on. Let's go further out. Let's go to these 2020s, right? These are out there. These are a bit out there. All right. So let's do it. These are, you know, not as cheap as Amazon. Obviously, as you can see here, much cheaper than Amazon. MU right now is $59.37. $59.37. If I wanted an in the money call, I can just go right now to these 1690s. All right, go into the marketplace and say, okay, I want 57.50 in the money. It's going to cost me $1,690 to get one contract for 2020. All right. Can you get me in cheaper, Sal? Yes, I can. Let's do it. All right. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to see this $70 call up here. And I'm going to sell that. Boom. I'm going to finance an in the money call. I'm going to go to these 55s. I'm going to sell that. Boom. Now these are cheap, right? So I can buy a little bit more. So I'm going to go a little bit heavy on it. I'm going to go a little bit heavy on it. Let's add, not too much. Let's say 5. If the number is crazy, I'll come back to. We'll put one contract if the number's crazy. All right. We'll do 5 with the call. All right. And there it is. So I got 5. I sold 5. All right. To help me finance the call. All right. Sold the call. More expensive. Out the money to finance a deep in the money call. Let's go to the market. Boom. So I got 5. I got 5. All right. Now let's see. I'm just gonna have. I'm gonna. All right. So this trade, you know, a lot of time it's not enough. I'm gonna even have to go larger than this. You're gonna have to go larger than this. But that's kind of how it would work. I'd have to go larger than that. That's too light. That's too light. For that much time, it's too light. All right, let's go up. We're gonna have to go up to maybe like 20 contracts. That's too light. The more time you put on it, the more money, because it doesn't make sense to go light for that much time. You see what I'm saying? You go light for 30 days, 60 days, But if you're going for a year, a leap, or 2 years, you gotta put more money on that. What's that? 15. Did I put 15 on this one? Let me see. I put 20 on that one. Shit. All right, let's go 20 on this one. All right. Now this is somebody who's really committed. Boom. There we go. There it is. 20 contracts. This trade would cost you average $40,000. Right? Straight long call. You're doing it for 11. So for $11,000, you're guaranteeing yourself that MU, if the price of MU winds up being greater than $60.83, $60.83, it's still not enough. Yeah, this trade is still not big enough. Your maximum possible profit would be $18,340. So in 2 years, we're basically talking about now how old folks play with their money. When you're going into Charles Schwab and Fidelity and you sitting down, and those old folks and they got 100, 500K, 100, a million, 5 million generational money. That's the kind of conversation we're having now. We're having a generational wealth kind of conversation. When we talking about this kind of time. That's why my numbers here are too low. That's why you're probably thinking like, 18 grand for 2 years. I don't know about that, Sal. Yeah, you're absolutely right. Because this would be a 300, 400, 500 contract type of situation. That's when it starts to make a lot more sense. And I want to get to a number there because I want to show you. Let's see, let's put 200. All right, let's put 200. I want to say 200. All right. Boom. Now it starts to make a little bit more sense. All right. Again, I'm going to be honest with you. I don't have this kind of cash to put up to sit around for 2 years. But there are families in this country that have that kind of money where they can put a contract on like this, have 100 grand sitting somewhere for 2 years, live their life, enjoy their life. And if MU is willing to stay above $60.82 for 2 years, that's $1.50 away from where we are right now. $1.50, you are virtually guaranteed $183,600 on your money. Obviously, if you lose your principal. All right? Bearing in mind, you could have a collapse, dollar collapse, country collapse, war, civil war, who knows? Okay? All right. That's it. Questions? You said, but don't you need that account in your position don't you need that amount in your account? Yes. I mean, of course you need that amount. Yeah. I mean, you need that money in there. Yeah. You need that money in there, man. Yes, Terry Cherry. I mean, you're going to have to put up that kind of money to generate that return, right? That you're buying the contract. You're giving that to your broker. You say, what about a split? It's all risk adjusted. The numbers will change, but the profit stays the same. Nothing changes if there's a split forward or backwards. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, the numbers will change, but other than that, everything stays the same. Yeah, Iceberg J, I mean, again, that's a different kind of conversation where you're talking about a stock like MU. You're going to have to put up a significant, especially for a leap, right? Especially for a leap. I understand that for some people, wow, giving my broker $100,000 for 2 years, like they can't even put that in their brain. But you got to understand, when you're talking to someone with real generational wealth, somebody who comes from a family with, 10 million liquid, 20 million, 30 million, 40 million liquid, more. Those type of number, that's easy. That's a very simple conversation to have. You know. To be able to go in there and control that much of the stock and have the company, finance that for you. You said when you get to your profit, you just sell it. You sell the option. You close out the trade. When you get to your profit target, you sell the option just like you sell any other option. You go to the market. Whatever they're asking for, you sell. Buy to cover the option you're selling. Sell at market the option that you bought. If someone wins the lotto jackpot that he can trade options at this magnitude, well, yeah, or you just earn the right. I mean, you got you're someone with a small business. You're, someone who just, got significant amount of real estate interest or wealth. You're somebody who's somebody from Dubai who's rich or independently wealthy in some other third world country, and you don't trust your currency. You come to America and you buy stock or you buy our bonds, and you do some kind of long-term trade to keep your money working for you. And that's how you do that. That's kind of how you do that. But I showed you guys the monthly income strategy. And for a lot of you, that's where you need to start out at, especially if you suck at stocks. Then some of those monthly income strategies, which we just talked about, by just going simply 30 days, 60 days, that might be where you want to start out with just one contract or two. And if it works for you, you can say, "Oh, Sal, wow, I'm generating $1,400 a month on Amazon, or I'm generating $1,500 a month on Netflix on a monthly basis. I think this is what I like to do." And slowly build up your account that way. And I'm just scratching the surface, man. I'm just scratching the surface. Do I have that book down here? But again, I'm just, those are those things you read when I showed you guys my, these videos that I love watching. These videos, when I show you guys these little $9, $10 videos you can get on the internet, or sometimes get for free. What's this right here? 4 powerful rules to successful option trading. These are the kind of little, these little $20, $30 DVDs that contain information, bro, that's just like changed my life, man. And also reading books, man. I showed you guys that book, 101 Option Trading Secrets. I think it might be downstairs. It might be downstairs. Yeah, I think it's downstairs. I'll look for downstairs. But those are the things you need to take your time at. Traders Libraries. Traders Libraries still up? Let me see here. Traders. Sometimes when you're depending on these websites it's still up. There it is. Going to the Traders Library. That website is still up. All those free books over there at the Traders Library. 980, you're on the air. What's up?
Hey, what's up, man? It's Mr. Gladness.
Hey, what's up, Andrew?
Yeah, so could you explain to the chat room about the margin? Because for you to be able to do the vertical spreads like you're explaining the technique, you got to have a margin account, right? Or
yeah, you can have a margin account, but a margin account was $2,500, and obviously the trade is got to be less than what you have in your account. But a margin account comes with $2,500, and that's it. As long as your cost is below what you have in your account, you can do the trade. It doesn't require you to have $50K and you're trying to do a $2,000 trade, nothing like that. No, whatever the cost is to buy, that's what it is. So if you got a $2,500 account and you did a trade like that, it's only $700, as I showed you. then it's $700. And whatever is left over, you can be buying stock or whatever it is. It's not locking up extra cash in your account.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Well, that's pretty much the only question I had. I just had to make clarity with that. But
yeah, no problem, bro. Because I know a lot of people see that and they're like, well, it's only $700, but maybe I need a margin account of like $50K. No. If it's only $700, that's all you need is $700 to lock in that 30-day trade. That's literally all you need. But you do need a margin account. So you have to have at least been approved for, trading on margin. Yes, absolutely.
Okay, I got one more question. What's the best broker to do this with? Because I took my money out of TD Ameritrade because I had problems with the system. Mm-hmm. What's the one you use?
Well, I'm using Interactive Brokers, so you can use that. I mean, I just use Tastyworks right now. They're a good broker, but I mean, any broker right now. I mean, dude, if you for a monthly income of $700, $1,000, $2,000, whatever it is, I mean, your trade cost, your commission is only going to be like $4, $5. So any broker can do it for you. The problem is just making sure you're choosing a great company, a great stock to be in that's on an upward trend and doing very well on a monthly basis.
Okay, great. I know you don't got time to do this, but like the next show or sometime next week, could you show how you use Black Box compared to what you just did, showing us the examples and how you use that as an advantage?
Yeah, I'll definitely do that. Yeah, I think I need to make a video about to put that out. It'll be a separate video I put out later because I know I made a video showing the benefits of it, but how to exactly use the alerts. I think, a better video needs to be made, even from the company side. But I think I can show how I use it personally. Absolutely, I can do that.
Well, that's it, my man. Keep up the good work, and thank you.
Thank you, bro. Appreciate the call, man.
Yes, sir.
Yes, indeed. All right. So, look, I understand. Look, that strategy requires you to, have a little bit of money, but a couple $1,000 can get you started, man. $2,000, $3,000, $4,000 can get you started on a month-to-month basis, generating monthly income. All right. I'm waiting for a ticker like AMD, and we're gonna get out of here in just a minute. I'm looking for a ticker like AMD. I'd love to get into some call selling on AMD where I'll go in and buy 100 shares, 200, 300, 400 shares, and now I'm selling out the money calls. So you own 100 shares, right? Just an example, 100 shares. That's what, $1,100. Right? And now every week, every Friday, right? Or maybe even Thursday, getting there a little earlier, you're generating guaranteed income every Friday by selling an out the money option. So a target that will never be hit. Right? And you're selling that into the market, taking that credit in every single week. Selling out the money options. Out the money call options. All right, that book that book is called 101 Option Trading Secrets. But let me give you the link to the website Traders Library. And again, that's why I tell you guys, just go get yourself one of those $40 Walmart tablets, man. Because books are even better than the DVDs. I love the DVDs because sometimes you get a little lazy, but books are even better. All right, that's the link to the Traders Library. All right, please keep it to three downloads at a time. Don't overload the system because the guy's basically running on a very low budget for that website. He's hosting like 500, like almost 1,000 books on that site. And shout him out, give him a donation if you can. One more call. 703, you're on the air. What's up?
Hey, Sal, what's up? It's me, Fisher.
Hey, what's up? What's up, Fisher?
To do options on E-Trade or TD Ameritrade, to do the vertical spreads, you need like level 3. Level 1 is regular stocks. Mm-hmm. Level 2 is like a nickel call, nickel put, and level 3 would be like the vertical spreads.
Yeah, that's why, again, that's why I've told guys it's so important when you're applying for your brokerage contract, or when you're applying for your brokerage. I don't care if you've been trading for 1 day. You tell them I've got 10 years of trading experience, right? Because
Yeah, you lie.
hell yeah, I'll fucking lie. And because you will never be able to go from level 1 to level 3. Because once they give you a level 1 account, moving to level 3 is virtually impossible. So
yeah, and that's when you do the spreads.
Right. And so when you get a trading account, yes, I have 10 years of trading experience. I've got 10 years of options experience. I've got 10 years of bonds. Yes, that's what I have. And nobody's gonna call you to say, well, is that how much experience? No, nobody's gonna call you. It's for you to admit, because it's basically signing a virtual contract with the broker. When you say that, you're saying, yes, I'm going to be responsible for the ability to be able to have that kind of margin ability, or that level ability of trading. Right. Once you deny that you have the ability to do that, you will never get it. It's virtually impossible for you to get it.
Damn. Okay. And the best thing is, for people who want to save money, you can use the dough. That's from Tasty Work or Tasty Trade. But their commissions are good because they charge you to get in, but they don't charge you to get out.
Yes.
So if people want to save money on commissions, they can use the Tasty Trade platform.
There it is, man.
All right.
Appreciate you, Fisher.
No problem.
Yes, indeed. Yeah, man. Look, some of y'all need to start acting like a white man. You know what I mean? When it came to getting this money, I just started acting like a white man. I'm going to get my money. And if I need to, hey, yeah, I got the experience, then it is what it is. Because we're so like, oh yeah, I only have a 1 year of experience, and I'm learning how to. No, I know what I'm doing. I know what I'm doing. Absolutely, yes, absolutely. I know exactly what I'm doing. All right, sir. There you are. You are approved for level 4 trade. Okay, thank you. I don't have to do level 4 today, tomorrow. I've been trading on and off since 2011, 2012, and now I just got into options. So you can have the status and not use it. Just acting like a white man. You know what I'm saying? So some of you guys, you might have to go out there and open up a Fidelity. You might have to open up a Tasty Works, some other broker where you can, an E-Trade or something like that, a Charles Schwab, because maybe you fucked it up at TD where you told them, I only got 6 months of trading experience, and they gave you a fucking level 1 account where you can't do shit. Where the opportunities to make the real money are at. They gave you the account where you just basically have to gamble every day. Not saying that you can't make money, going in the market, because we do that too. But I'm talking about those opportunities where you can put some time on it and get yourself some income using leverage. Get yourself some money using leverage. Yes, Doe is Tasty Trade. And they're a great broker too. Very seamless process. All right. So I've kept you guys up long enough, man. Again, press like on this video if you like what you learned today. Look, man, there are a lot of channels on YouTube. I really appreciate all of you, the fact that you guys tune into this. I think 90% of YouTube is garbage. A lot of people waste a lot of time on YouTube getting information that doesn't, create opportunities to make their lives better. But the fact that some of you guys have found me valuable enough to listen to, I really appreciate that, man. I really appreciate that very, very much. I try to just create content that you guys can actually leave and take something with, and it forces me to kind of stay on task too, because I need it too. All right. So let me ring the bell, get you guys up out of here. I hope you guys learn a little bit about the power of options, and how that could make you guys some money on a monthly, bi-monthly, or even a yearly basis. But again, those yearly, it's when you got the real big bucks. You know, it's when you got the real big bucks. Then you can go on those yearly leaps for huge returns on great companies. All right. So let me go ahead and ring the bell, get you guys up out of here. All right. Thank you so much again for joining me on another great episode. Penny Stocks Live. You know. Yes, indeed. Appreciate all of you. Absolutely. Yes, indeed. Jeff there. Yes, everybody hit that like. Yes, indeed. Hit that donation, too. Shout out to all the people on Patreon, man. Shout out to all the people on Patreon. You know, got a new mouse this weekend. Shout out because of you guys, man. So your boy got a new mouse. I appreciate the little $1, $2 a month. You know, I mean, you can't live off of it. Not supposed to be live off of it. Live off of your trading. But I appreciate the fact that you guys don't make this cost me anything, you know, for me to come up here and do this. All right. Callie Robb, Ricardo Joseph, thank you. Stock Z, Fisher G, Shaquille Emmanuel, thank you. Corey Kwan, thank you. K Mac, I appreciate you, K Mac. Yes, indeed, you do. I appreciate that, bro. Shout out to K Mac for the donation, man. Londell Carter, Andrew Gladness, thank you, Andrew. And now, by the way, you guys just try that for a month and see what it works out for you, man. You know? Just make sure, again, the option is a liquid. You want to be liquid, you know? You want to be in a company people actually like and buy. Blue Cousin, Bad Scientist, thank you, sir. Shirley Lewis, Ricardo Joseph, Terry Cherry. Yeah, I'll do that, Terry. That's fine. Just remind me. Jason Gatewood, thank you. All my callers, Ken. All the people watching, lurking. I appreciate all of you, all the people watching this in the future. Thank you so much, my truck drivers, soldiers in Afghanistan, Japan, wherever you are. I appreciate all of you. Until tomorrow, happy trading, everyone. Take care. Let's see here. I'm out. Take care.